Negus.
Negus. What is the language of origin?
Ethiopian to Amharic.
What is the definition?
A king. It's used as a title of the sovereign of Ethiopia.
Negus.
And Andrew, would you say the word loudly for the judges?
Negus. 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 Negus.
Bishop Hustle Hotep, what's going on, brother?
Well, ain't nothing changed but the oppressors. Go ahead.
Not many rugged people. Period. Less than 1%, bro. Less than 1%.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, and out of that less than 1%, is less than 1% of black. You know what I'm saying? So, holla at me. Like I said, don't get it twisted because I don't got the interview voice. I'll run laps around you.
Seatbelt, because the deacon clearly ain't got no filter, and and the bishop he working on it, but God ain't finished with me yet either. So welcome to the church.
Welcome to the church. This is a great one right here, because and you're gonna feel this too. Not everyone needs to believe in your dreams, but you do.
And we want to encourage you, if you got a dream or an idea, bet on yourself.
But supporting is like, sharing, and reviewing, but supporting is also sending that money in.
Pimping, positively influencing my people in negotiating growth.
Yo, bro, you was reading books for pizza, son. You on a different level of poor, yeah. Yo, you was really poor. I be thinking you fresh sometimes. Like, nah, you was. Yo, you read the book. If you reading the books for a personal pan pizza,
yes.
You
or not? I do. This is almost like free consulting. Hit that Cash App because we giving y'all free game away on here.
Yeah, but for me, it's like I be seeing people going hard on the internet, and I'm unplugged from social media for them. Besides the little 30 minutes a day that I give myself, but it's like, yo, bro, y'all ain't never did nothing, yo. Y'all ain't never been the best at your local YMCA.
Look, y'all. Welcome to the church. The good deacon and the bishop. We doing it ourselves, and we want to encourage you. Look here, think again. Start asking the right questions to grow and help other people grow.
Bigger looking like two chains. So let's get to the Jesse of the week.
Put it up, brother. I don't even think I need to say much. Just put it up. Y'all see that headline? Our Jesse of the week is Trick Daddy, who defends eating booties. The Jesse of the week, and he probably ain't got no vaccine, and that's who you got rolling your blunt and passing it to you.
Oh, you won't learn to laugh today. You getting that medicine with that candy right now.
That's our show, y'all.
Yeah,
it's about love.
It's about love. It's about love at the Uh-oh. I like this beat. Where you get that from, Bishop?
My stuff.
Huh? What's going on, people? We are live. I hope that came out right, because it was looking crazy on my end. But yo, we live, and this is what happens when you go live. You have technical difficulties. So I hope that played well. But welcome to Pipping Negus, and please don't confuse it with the Nigga. Please don't confuse it with the Nigger. The bishop is from Milwaukee. You might have a problem if you do that, although he is trying to be, put everything in love. You know what I'm saying? He the thug. He might get at you. See the chains, 2 chains. But welcome to the show. Bro? I am one of the hosts, and I'm with my co-host. I'm just gonna go with I think last year I said I'm just gonna go with Deacon Trey, because saying my whole name is it's too much for me. So I know it might be too much for everybody else. Who we got with us, yeah? Who's the other host of this joint?
You got the good Bishop Bingham. Welcome to Pimpin' Negus. As my man said, don't get it confused. We kings around here. Shout out to all the kings and queens out there. We just trying to positively influence our people. And we got a great show for y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. So first of all, first on the list, let us pop our collar, yo. This is our episode 30, man. We started off with just come on the podcast and talk about your book. We didn't talk about your book very much, so I was like, yo, let's do it again so we can talk about your book. We talked about I don't even know what we talked about. I gotta go back and listen to. I think catching up and all that type of stuff. But yo, let's pop our collar for us. I got the merch on. We got the sticker, everything. Let's pop the collar. We are at episode 30, folks. How does it feel, man? How does it feel, man? We went from doing it for fun. Now we doing it for economic reasons. Well, not purely economic reasons, but we formed it.
We do it for the love. This big look, the deacon gonna get paid, y'all.
How you feel, man? We at episode 30, man. How you feel, bro?
I feel good, man. We come a long way. We showing growth. We doing what people we asking the people to do. Y'all see the banners down there. We trying to get in line. We trying to get agenda. We appreciate all you people who are watching, and we getting feedback, y'all. So this show today, we gonna acknowledge some of the feedback and keep it moving. But it's 30 episodes. We started not on time, missing, because that was mainly my fault, changing the times, but you see we consistent here.
Yeah, we trying to do every Saturday. I think we only missed 2 Saturdays since we started, I believe. Yeah. So you missed the Saturday that the week before last and some Saturday before when something else happened. But what's going on, man? So let's get to the feedback, man. Let's get to the feedback. So I hear echo on your end. You gotta mute it, whatever you're doing.
Hey man, I'm trying to play producer back here. So it's a whole bunch of windows up with. We got a backstory behind that too, but we're gonna stay on point. Part of the feedback that we received, unless you want to go first, I don't mind going first.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
I don't want to. You're not a pimp. So for the people, let's just get into it. Last episode, we were trying to show some growth, and I had somebody give me some feedback like, look, man, you can't do that to your brother. You need to apologize. We ran our intro video, but it was all clips of me. Go back and, well, not all clips, but it had my brother feeling some type of way. And instead of humbling myself, the person gave me the feedback like, how you gonna needle your guy? Y'all supposed to be showing growth. That is not on brand. So we talked it out and apologized, but we was like, this is a good way to show growth. So Deacon, I apologize for needling you and being a jerk about it. And I can't just accept that, oh well, that's the DC sniper. He can accept it just like I can accept it. No, we want to show people growth and we want to positively motivate each other. And sometimes taking shots is not that motivate everybody. Some people that'll motivate, but I humbly apologize. If you go back and watch the other episode, y'all will see we was sniping good.
Yeah. So it's funny because we said we're gonna save the apology for the show because I have a similar apology to you. Like, so I went back. So this is also get y'all pens and paper out because this is what people charge me for this information about to give
you
y'all.
Dropping the jewel.
Yeah, I'm about to give y'all some
show some growth. But hold on. Let me show some growth. Okay. We ain't got the cash. Hit that cash here. You see under our name.
Right. Yeah, it feels different from being from the producer end, don't it?
Yeah. Go ahead. You got it.
So what I was going to say, let me because I put it in a private note. So I apologize to you. And so this is bigger than me and you, right? So it's obviously we did the show and part of it. So the part of the feedback that you didn't say, the person said it wasn't on brand, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if necessarily agree with that. I listened to the show this morning, the reviewer, so it could be fresh in my mind. I actually enjoyed the show. And I think like we definitely was doing a whole bunch of sniping that we don't do, at least not in public. We might have did it in law school and all that type of stuff, but that was new. Like people haven't seen us do that. And part of the issue, I ain't gonna even say it's an issue, comes with the good, bad, and ugly of being black, for the lack of a better term, is that like we go hard at each other under the guise of playing the dozens and all that type of stuff. And I just think that me, you, the broader community, we have to be mindful of the stuff that we say to each other under the guise of sniping. Because like, although I think you could take it, you think I could take it, maybe some things that we probably shouldn't say. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know the balance. I don't know the answer. And then I went back and I was looking at the emails and I was like, yo, I shouldn't have said that in the email. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I was like, that was harsh. You know what I mean? And I was going, so this is where to get y'all pens and paper.
What you say in the email, brother?
It was a lot, man. It was a lot, yo. It was a lot. And so what I'm gonna own is, right. So this is my defense mechanism. This is stuff I'm working on, right? So if I feel that I'm being attacked, whether that's real or imagined, right? Because it's all perception is reality. I go into attack mode, right? Because I'm like, yo, bro, you're not gonna be talking to me crazy or whatever. And the stuff that I put in email once should have never been an email, period. And I should have just called you and be like, yo, let's just have this conversation. So part of the game that I'm about to give y'all, this costs people a lot of money. I'm not cheap out here. Part of the game, so I think the issue actually started when I'm being honest and trying to be objective, like how did we get to that place where we were like going, because there was some personal things what happened and I went personal and I know better, right? I should just be like, yo, it's not personal. This is what we disagree with. How do we resolve it? So I was like, yo, where did we actually start having tension? And I think we started having tension once we said, yo, we're gonna do this as a business versus we doing it as we just doing it for fun and sharing and giving to people, right? And once we did that, we should have done. Well, I'm gonna keep it on me because I do this every day, right? This is my practice. Well, all right, we're gonna do that, but let's have the conversation on how this looks as a business, right? And part of it was we had a template. So we did do some steps, but we didn't do the whole step. So part of the templates is that people should have. So get y'all pens and papers out. Like we should have hammered out the operating agreement, which we still got to do, right? And part of the operating agreement, because once you're doing that something for fun, there's no obligation to. We could just end this right now, right? There's no obligation to making money or how we gonna do it, pouring money into this. So once we start doing it as a business, when you do your operating agreement, this is what y'all gotta have. Oh, it's not even up here. But I can
up, Jesse.
Yeah.
Part
of it is. So I think part of it is. So let me just get it. So we gotta iron out what each person is responsible for in the operating agreement, right? What's the financial commitment? What are we saying the financial commitment is going to be for a year, right? Because the operating agreement, I always advise clients to review it annually. What's the time commitment, right? And then there was some baggage, good, bad, and ugly of that. This is pimping niggas, pimp. This is all your IP. So how do we value that IP? Does it make sense to have it under the bill? All those type of things. And so another thing that I got apologize to you for is because I know you're an artist and you sensitive about your ish, as Erykah Badu said. I know you're emotionally tied to these things, so you've been thinking about it. This was your IP, you brought it in. So I should have been more careful with even addressing it, and you put mad time in. So in those things where I didn't do that in real time, and I felt that you was attacking me, and I was like, yo, I gotta get the bishop off me, man. I gotta get the bishop.
I accept your apology. We pushing that 15 minutes, brother. We showing y'all growth, getting rid of old ways that hurt. What's our topics for today? We love each other, but we wanted y'all to have the apology, and it's some other stuff with the email too. I wasn't even talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that had me busy because
I said I ain't gonna get into it because you know it's private information. Yeah, so we got ain't no minds being changed, bro. And this is, we talking about the two-party system. So
Say that again. What
Ain't no
is it?
minds being changed. Ain't
Oh,
no
we
minds
got a
being
new
changed.
segment for y'all.
New segment. We got to get some sound effects, right?
Yep.
Ain't no minds being changed. Let me put this on full screen because you the producer now, so I don't got to see all that stuff in the background. So ain't no minds being changed. The two-party system, man. Ain't nobody. So everybody done made a line in the sand, and you either gonna be for the Democratic Party or for the Republican Party or some third party that's not going to win. It ain't no minds being changed. So I think this topic came up because people are going hard at Biden administration, the Democratic Party, about how they handling this Haiti situation. And for me, I'm always put your old tap.
Go ahead, brother. Speak. The floor
So
is
the
yours.
whole so Bishop Hustle Hotep was like, yo, we need to get rid of the Democratic Party, right? Or we need to start rocking with them. So I have it's not completely different, but a different opinion. I'm of the belief that you got to be playing chess, right? So you got to rock with the people that you think is going to get the most bang for your vote. So, right? So it's either based on what we have today in 2021, it's either you're going to rock with the Republican Party or you're going to rock with the Democratic Party in national, especially in national elections. And so you should rock with who you think are going to get you the most results for your buck, because you're not going to get 100% of everything you want. That's just not how politics work. That's not how relationships works. That's not how society works. But Bishop, what is your take? Because I don't know how deep we're going to get into this, because we went publicly when you was going hard for Bernie Sanders and the Bernie math and all that type of stuff years ago. So I don't know where you're going to take, because I said save it for the show. But go ahead.
I would like you all to think again.
Think again. We need to drop.
We put the Democratic Party in office this year. I'm in Atlanta, and specifically, they have the House, they have the Senate, and they have the presidency. And in corporate America, you can't rest on your laurels. It's always, what have you done for me lately? And I'm saying, let's keep that same energy across the board. Biden administration, what have you done for us lately? We put you in office. What have we got? What have we received? And this is going to cascade into other issues. But for me, it's let's stop supporting the establishment candidate. Let's revolt with our vote and go somewhere else, just like the Republicans did. Donald Trump was a revolt vote for basically white people, and then some minorities that was just tired of the system. We see what we got. It messed us up, but now they got a little bit more power in what is going to be done for them. We've been getting used by the Democratic Party forever. I'm saying, if it ain't a brown candidate, black or brown candidate that's up there on the top of the ticket like Obama, hey man, we got enough people, and this is going to go into our next topic. We got enough people where we could put an independent up there. And don't tell me about politics and all of that. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I know it's some people out there. We know a few. If I'm a Hotep, I don't know what to call somebody who is all about the establishment. We've used the good deacon has used the term coon and Negro peon on the show. I don't know if a coon or Negro peon, but that leads us to our next topic, which is AOC, man. For me, and hold
on. You jump. Well, go ahead.
That's it. This is all it. This is the two-party system. It makes no sense. She's crying because she didn't want to have to cast a vote. And I see this. I've spoken about this before on the show. That a separate country gets more support in their citizens than we do for the citizens that's here and that put them in the office. And a prime example is this vote. So they voted for an Iron Dome, and I think everybody voted for it, 490-9. And she was so heartbroken because she's fighting against the establishment. If you do a little research on her, you'll see that she's part of this squad of minority women. Shout out to the women fighting hard that's trying to get things right because Congress is full of corruption. But this is apparently some kind of Iron Dome. It's $1 billion that'll help replace some missile interceptors that got damaged by the Palestinians. If you know this conflict, America is always on Israel's side, no matter what. And they got all the guns, all the weapon, all the support. It's like the Palestinians might as well be throwing rocks at somebody who got machine guns. That's the comparison, the real easy one. But what was so heartbreaking and what made me want to say, look, we got to think again, is this quote right here by Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader of the Democrats. Iron Dome is very important and it'll get done. That's all I'm going to say. Well, what about taking care of us? What about the George Floyd law? What about reparations? That should be very important. I'm saying these people show us who they are. And when people show you who they are, believe them. They're not really for us. They just the quiet closet racists. I mean, we knew about Biden before we elected him, and it was a lesser of two evils to some extent. We knew about Hillary. And we was like, we're not going to make that same mistake that we did with Hillary and not put her in office. Using your philosophy, nobody's going to be perfect. I agree with that. Nobody's perfect. And this show is about love. You got to have some grace and mercy. But you also need to demand some things. And we can see the Asians have demanded things and they've gotten it. The Jews have demanded things and they've gotten it. The LGBTQ community has demanded things and they got it. But they play with us. When it comes time to spend money or pass bills, go ahead.
We'll push back because we got you getting a little you preaching right now. You preaching right now.
I take
push back
off.
I'm gonna push back, and this is just a think again type of thing, right?
All right.
So my issue is not necessarily with the Democratic Party. You can call them whatever you want to call them, right? It's not even really an issue. It's really just, to me, a realistic view of the world. Like, I don't care what you call them. You call them Democrats, you call them Republican, you call them Green Party. You like strategically, you got to make the move that you think is gonna get you the best results, right? So
I agree.
So 449. So also we got to keep in mind that I know y'all only y'all co-taps everybody except for a few people. Like if a person doesn't agree, we got to acknowledge that one, we don't have an agreed upon the black agenda, quote unquote, right? We also don't have we don't respect, it doesn't seem like, a diversity of opinions when it comes to what is supposed to be. So as soon as somebody says something that's different, you're like, oh, you a Negro pen, you a coon. Like, as soon as they say something that person doesn't agree with, we canceling them. They a coon, they a Negro pen, and you ain't necessarily even heard them out for real. So that's my only thing is like, yo, we gotta have diversity. We gotta have a diversity of opinions, right? We gotta embrace diversity of opinions. We can't say this is right, that is wrong. We got to have there got to be some black agenda that most black people agree with. And I don't know if that's going to ever happen, but I think we need to start there. What's the agenda?
I say the agenda needs to be, let's start with reparations. But I hear you. We done spent some time on it. I hear you. I done preach. And we got subtopics that I want to move through really quickly because part of the problem is black and brown relations. We got to come together. We are not the minority. Like, they fear black and brown people coming together, and so they drive this wedge between us. If we come together, then we can have an agenda. They've raped and pillaged Hispanics. They've raped and pillaged Asians. They've raped and pillaged African Americans, and we've talked about this on this show and that Netflix show 14th Amendment. The Asians built the railroads. Hispanics did all of the agriculture and stuff after the African Americans, and they want to kick us out. And we see what's going on with our people now. So before we move, our Jesse of the week for me is minorities in this country, minorities/majorities.
So
we ain't doing what we need to do.
Part of what's going to be that issue is that again, like I think there needs to be an agenda, right? An agreed upon agenda is that even when you're dealing with, because we lump everybody into the same, right? So Mexicans, they have diversity of opinions too, and diversity, Latino people, quote unquote. I don't know if that's the right terminology that people are using, but it's like I agree with you that there should be some type of coalition, but I also believe that we got to start recognizing that all these people everybody's not the same, right?
We got a saying, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
But how do you draw that line though? That's the issue, I think.
You either for your people and love yourself and your people, or you don't. It's some of us that don't love each other. How do you determine? If you're running away from your people and not trying to help your people, that's a good indicator.
So for example, right? Because a lot of I think black people were the people that voted most for the Democratic Party in the last few elections, actually. Like a lot of the votes have been split for the most part, right? So even when you're dealing with like the Mexican vote or the Cuban vote, it's been split between
the Hispanic. Jesse, we're trying to be a good deacon. We're showing growth. It's more because Mexican. It's Hispanic.
No, because listen, because Hispanic, that includes a lot of people. So when you Mexican and Cuban, they have a different history to this country, and they have different politics. So you gotta. That's what I'm saying. When we start lumping all these people together, I think it becomes an issue that we are not properly addressing. Like, so the Cuban issue might be different from the Mexican.
But keeping that same energy and logic, African Americans got different views.
That's what I'm saying.
We hate ourselves and hate the people that look like us. That's why we Jessies of the week. We got to get over this stuff.
So I'm not going to say people that have a different opinion necessarily hate black people. I just think it's a difference of opinion. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think the most.
What about Uncle Ruckus? I know he pretend, but he based on is that just a difference of opinion, or do we hate?
Yeah, but Uncle Ruckus is like, obviously he's a character, right? And he's that's satire, and that's obviously there's people that are like Uncle Ruckus, but there are people that just like, yo, like I just don't agree with you. You know what I mean? And then when somebody says, yo, I don't agree, just say like, I think reparations is a good place to start. So let's get that out there. I think reparations as an agenda, reparations is great. Let's start there. But let's just say like taxes, for example, right? Some people like, yo, bro, I don't believe that my taxes should be supporting abortion or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's politics. We talking about as a people and how you.
But what I'm saying is that all those conversations is under the guise of politics, right? Because some people are just going to be, well, most people, listen, when we really keeping it real, most people are just voting based on party lines.
That's what I'm saying, Deacon. You done took it off a little bit. I'm saying the indicator is, do you have love for people who look like you or not? Are you trying to be something else or not? That's your indicator right there. Whether you Hispanic trying to pass, whether you Creole and you trying to pass, whether you African American and you want to be Samuel Jackson and Django and be in the master's house and keep all your people down because you only believe it should be one token and you want to be that token. That's your indicator there. That's all. Yeah, but we think come together. That's why we the Jessies of the week, y'all.
I think those people that you just named, I think they're the minority, though. I think most people, so it's far left, far right, right? Most people are somewhere in the middle. And I think, like the hatred for your own kind, I think those people are in the minority. And technically, we don't need to have a conversation with people where we establish like, yo, bro, you just hate your own people. We don't need to have a conversation, but we do need to have a conversation with a brother or sister that's like, yo, I don't believe. I'm just saying abortion because that's the hot topic right now. One of the hot topics and always a hot topic. Like, I don't believe that my tax dollars should be paying for abortion, so I'm voting for whoever. You know what I mean?
That's a political issue, though. What I'm trying to say is I'm distinguishing it from political issues. We could disagree on political issues, but when you get down to the core, again, is you with your people or not? And we see some people that are definitely not with us, but we done beat it up. Y'all gonna get more of this as we go, because this topic is hot. And again, we pimping Negus. So
What
You
do
know,
PIMP stand for? Give it to him again. Yeah.
there you go. Oh, we already on it. Positively influencing my people and negotiating growth. We got to negotiate growth. And what's growth? Oh.
Getting rid of old ways that hurt.
Oh, and what's Negus? Don't get it twisted, as the good deacon said.
It's Negus.
Right. Unless you're calling us a king, don't come out your mouth to say that. But all of this topic is in there, man. This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's crazy. This
is the administration that we put in there. And who are they to please? I feel like you and I have talked about this before, where the Democratic Party already assumed that they got our vote. So they cater to this small slither of white people that's on that's teetering on either side to try to get them, and will ignore us. We saw Hillary do it. We saw Biden do it. They just send our quote unquote leaders after us. They'll come to church and sing a gospel song one time, or they'll have MC Hammer or 50 Cent or somebody say something to us like we need to vote P. Diddy, and they know they got us. They not really investing. We got to make people earn our vote. And if we don't want to be the Jesse of the week, we better keep it up.
So I did a little deep dive. I ain't gonna say deep dive. I did a little dive. I put my toes into the story, and to give the administration credit, they did put in a motion or whatever it's called to pull back, because this border patrol stuff is based on the president when he just signed stuff and he don't got to go through Congress. What is this called?
Executive order.
Yeah, it was executive order. So he did an executive order, an emergency executive order to basically kick out every immigrant that's coming through illegally based off COVID, right? So the Biden administration did put some paperwork in there to try to get it to halt it, but the Supreme Court justice, which Donald Trump got 3 people in, basically was like, nah, we not doing that. So they basically voted along party lines. So which goes back to, I guess we having a political conversation, like why it's so important to vote, because Donald Trump got 3 people in that joint, and they literally voted on along party lines with how they came up with that decision. So we just need to be diligent. And I think also, this is all script, but I think it's important to say, I think it's also, we got to do more than just vote, right? So voting is just like, that's the bare minimum of what you can do, right? So I used to go to pop into some of these community planning meetings, right? We vote, we blame the Democratic Party for such and such, we blame the Republican Party for such and such. So on a local level, I used to go to like community planning meetings, right? And there'd be nobody in there but the people that
I'm gonna push back, because I know we got time. Let me ask, how did Donald Trump get 3 Supreme Court justices?
What you mean?
This is the game there. Our quote unquote liberal justices who knew they was on the edge of life, instead of humbling themselves and moving out the way, some of them died. And I know we like to celebrate RBG, and it's gonna be some sensitive stuff, but don't get fired. Don't get fired. I'm not getting fired for that. You go look and see how many minority clerks she had all the years she was on. Look at how the Democrats allowed the Republicans basically to punk them when Obama was in office and just hold up his nominees. And then look how quickly the Democratic Party folded. That's what I'm saying. They almost 2 sides of the same coin. It's just that one is a little bit nicer and will use Vaseline with you. The other one just don't care about you at all. And we got to call that out, man. And there's no excuses now. Don't put that on us, because we handed you the House, we handed you the Senate, and you got the presidency. And what have they done for us? It's always going to be excuses till we hold people feet to the fire and be like, nah, bro, we'll survive.
Yeah, so holding people feet to the fire, that's you saying what I'm saying in another way. It's like, yo, we got to do more than just vote, because most people are just going to vote or not and don't do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And most people actually don't vote, but that's a whole nother conversation.
We voted this time. It's almost like respectability politics. I'm gonna get you away from that argument. We did what we were supposed to do.
No. What I'm saying to you, listen to me. Think again. Listen to me. I said we got to do something beyond vote, right? So we voting, but what are we doing right now? So what So not to make it personal, what? So we're gonna just talk about Atlanta. What are people? What are these ground floor people that's politics and social? What are they doing right now in Atlanta to try to change things? And maybe this is a rhetorical question more than anything, but like we have to do more than just vote. So we show up to the polls, we vote, we get our sticker, we posted that we voted, and then we don't. Most people, the vast majority of people, don't do anything else beyond that. They be like, yo, I did my civic duty. Only thing that people going to do after that, most people, and I would love to see some data that proves me wrong, and just start complaining about what the Democratic Party not doing, what the Republican Party not doing, what the Democratic Party is doing, what the Republican Party is doing. Most people not going to even organize or anything and just to go like, yo, all right, we voted y'all in. Now we need somebody to hold their feet to the fire. I'm agreeing with you, but how do we do that? Let's be solution based. How do we do that?
It's a good question. Let's save that for another show. Folks in the comments, what else can you do besides voting and running for office? And we know it's a corrupt, politics is corrupt. You need money to run for office and do things. And I think our people have shown up. Like after what was it in Missouri? The what is it? The Floyd Brown, where they tore up Missouri. I forget the name of the case. The city. It's escaping me right now. But we got people running for office. Your kid gets shot. You instead of complaining, you trying to get legislation passed in Congress. Yeah. And what's happening? Yeah. They are showing themselves over and over again because it ain't that important. But you saw the headline by a leader of the Democratic Party. It's important, and that's all I'm gonna say. These is other country citizens. This ain't even us. Yeah. And he said that we should take his butt like he gotta go.
Yeah. Whatever. So also let me what's the name too? Because the show is about love and growth. So let me give a shout out to everybody that is doing something, because I do know people that are doing stuff in the community. So I don't want to come off as people are doing nothing. There are people that actually care and are actually doing something. I know some
Ferguson, that's what it is.
Yeah. There are some people that are actually on the ground doing the work, right? So I don't want to paint the broad picture that's nobody doing it, but it needs to be more of us doing it, including me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not exempt. He put Negro pen. I'm not saying I'm exempt. So I did my thing with being I'm on the board of a health center that directly impacts people. I was on the board of a charter school that directly impacts people. But it needs to be more. It gotta be. There's a term that we use in politics, but I can't. It's escaping me right now. But it has to be like a loud minority. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if we hit that apex where we're a loud minority that's moving change. So I don't want to compare it to the LGBTQIX or whatever letters they add in, but they have a loud minority. You know what I'm saying? That get things done. But go ahead. What you got next? You the producer, Brad. You the producer today.
Look, go and put it up. If we could joke, y'all, you gonna learn and laugh today. Go ahead, put it up, BJ Armstrong. Look.
So background
John Paxson. Just shoot the 3 when we pass it to you. Go ahead, because you know this. You a little bit more.
Karen Civil, right? So I had some clients in the industry. I know people. I got good friends in the industry. So I posted on somebody's wall. I think it was Lindsay. I ain't gonna say her last name. And she said like, "Yo, what's going on? They dragging Karen Civil." So I heard behind the scenes. This was years ago. We talking about like 5, 6. That had to be longer than 5, 6. We talking about going back 8 years ago. I heard from a very reliable source that Shorty. I ain't gonna say Shorty because I don't want to get canceled. We're gonna be like, "You hate black women." I heard Cam Civil was like, she will get you to the bag, but she will also rob you. It's like, yo, proceed with caution. Like, she's nice at what she does. She great at what she does, but she probably most likely will rob you in the process. And when she, so I think she got on a national stage on most people's radar when she started working with Hillary Clinton. And I seen people like posting like Black Girl Magic and all this type of stuff. And I was like, Yo, I done had a personal experience with it, so I'm gonna fall back. But as soon as you critical of one black woman, automatically you hate all black women, and I ain't feel like dealing with all that type of stuff. And I was like, all right, we just gonna see what happens. And yo, what happened is, yo, Joyner Lucas, the dude, I forgot this other
Jesse
dude.
Wu, it's up if you can see it.
Yeah, Jesse Wu and his
and let's change the language because you sound like you hate black women. she just finessed a few people. Cameron, the list was going on, and she even was bold enough to defend her name on Clubhouse. And what I saw across, she lost the case.
Yo, Jason Tyson said Cameron civil to ops.
Yeah, look. Put that up. How we do that? What I saw online, she finessed a couple of people, but when she went in the Clubhouse, she apparently indicated herself. She paid somebody to hack somebody's page. And,
yeah, Jason Lee. That's who it is. Jason Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, and pull his page down. So that's unfortunate.
Yo, she going to jail, bro. She's going to jail. They are definitely going to make a example out of her.
Yeah.
Jason Lee, I just seen his so to prepare for this show. I watched his interview on Breakfast Club, and he said, yo, he getting investigators on it. He want to know where the money came from because this happened apparently years ago. I didn't even know that story. I just heard the other stories where people that are lesser known, which I'm sure they probably gonna come out eventually. Like yo, she got me. She did such and such, but she also finessed me out of whatever. You know what I mean? And it's just sad because, yo, at the end of the day, like all we got is our name, man. And she was like, you know, the black girl. I was hoping that it wasn't true. That's why I ain't say nothing because I couldn't confirm myself, but it was a very reliable source. Like, yo, she's gonna finesse you, yo. Like she's great at what she's gonna do, but she's gonna finesse you. And it's just like, yo, bro, like we gotta make sure we treating our people with love, as we always say, and compassion, and like, yo, like you're gonna get to the money eventually, man. Eventually, you're gonna get to the money. Like it shouldn't be all of it. And you're doing stuff. See, yeah, it says Jason Lee. I see it, right? It's like, yo, you just gotta be patient. Wait your time. Like, man, I'm done with it, man. But it's crazy that she's doing it. She's out there like down and she's getting drug or drag like that, whatever people saying. But this is crazy, man. And this goes to show, like, you got to do good even when people not watching, because eventually shit gonna hit the fan. Damn, bro, I'm trying to go the whole episode. I'll say it.
Lord forgive him. He know not what he do. And the biblical references, everything done in the dark gonna come to the light. But we just gonna chalk her up as ninja-ish.
Yes, the ninja-ish.
Next topic.
Do you do we didn't when we did the Jesse of the week, we didn't do the pew, 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 but that's another.
Oh yeah. We'll act the fool next time. Put the screen up.
Which
because
one?
the share the okay. Screen. This the next one.
Okay.
Everybody probably seen that story about your girl. I guess Gabby. We just gonna call her Gabby. But basically, she's a young lady that went missing. She just happened to be of the complexion that gets protection, and you know. She's covered the news. There's a lot of people who go missing, but you can't click on one app. You're not going to watch the news for too long and not see something about her. And one of our sisters called out the media and basically labeled this the missing white woman syndrome. And she was catching some flack for that. But I mean, it's true. I know myself. I don't know about you all, but I remember like, man, who is she? Is she the president's daughter or something? Why is this every time I come downstairs and see the news, they talking about her? Why are people so fascinated? You know how many people go missing a day? And I don't say that to be insensitive in any way. Like, it's unfortunate what happened to her. But again, this is holding people's feet to the fire. Let's call out the media. Like, yo, what about all these people? And Joy Reid did it and got drugged.
She just So we talking about this pre-showing, and I was saying like I definitely get her point, but like I think so the conversation we had was a little different before. I think we do need to hold the media feet to the fire, but the media So what I was telling you before, I'm gonna tell the people, I was like, they're playing the stuff that's gonna get them clicks and ratings, right? So clearly, black people or whoever don't get those type of ratings, right? So versus, you know, I guess what her name, Gabby.
But we do. I'm gonna push back. Let me put my whole tap hat on. There's sites, the Shade Room, World Star. I don't want to give y'all too many because you don't.
So the drama, so that other stuff that, they'll
share videos of us fighting and acting like
So that Shade Room though, don't we control Shade Room allegedly?
I don't know, but I'm saying I'm pushing back on that. We don't get clicks. We get clicks. They choose to share. And look, that's what I'm saying. We got to stop making excuses for the media. That's just unacceptable.
So like, you know that we ain't gonna
never get nowhere.
So you know what we got to do? Since we got platforms now, we got whole Shade Room to the fire. Stop playing the negative stuff. World Star, it used to be owned by black people. I don't know if it still does.
Well, let me ask you this. What about MSNBC and Fox News and CBS? See, you immediately went to Shade Room.
So you didn't let me
go ahead.
You didn't let me finish, Bishop. You ain't let me finish. You ain't let me finish. Because we know what they're gonna do. So my point was, we know what Fox and CNBC and all these traditional media, we know what they're gonna do. What we can control is what we do with our platform, right? So we talked about this before, and this is why we said we come on here and apologize, because we have to control. Because even if it looked a certain type of way, even if we didn't feel a certain type of way when we did what we did last week, we have a responsibility to address the audience. Because at least one person said, "Hey, that wasn't right." You know what I'm saying? And we came on and corrected. So we got a whole Shade Room responsible, because we already know what Fox and them are going to do, right? Fox and them they on Wall Street, right? So they're going to do whatever's going to get them the best bang for their buck, right? But when we talk about these little upstarts, and they ain't even really small no more, we talk about World Star. World Star, why y'all not reporting on this type of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Shade Room, why y'all not reporting on this type of stuff? Because you know what World Star and Shade Room will report on? What you just showed, them dragging Joy Reid, the reaction, but they ain't posting the black woman that was black children or person of color that was missing in that same area. They didn't post that, but they posted that reaction. You know why they posted that reaction? Because it's getting clicks, and they could drag the media with their clicks and I'm nice. I'm nice with the headlines. They troll bait and make it provocative, and they can put on their website and they little Instagram pages, and it's gonna go crazy because people be like, "Yo, this is crazy," but they don't post.
That's what it sounds like.
That's absolutely. Oh, we running out of time, yo. This
ain't no minds being changed. We good. Let's go to the book.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, I shared something with you behind the scenes, bro. I got check your Facebook Messenger for because last week I said Hotepology is rooted in patriarchy, and I shared something, but we talk about that. We bring Jai on the show.
The way of the superior man. Share the screen, brother. Give them a summary. I'm gonna put some of this.
So you got your key points together?
Yeah, but we stay on point like Stacey Adams.
So let me go get my take while you get that together. For me, I think it's a good book, but I also suggest people proceed with caution. And the reason I'm saying that, because it is rooted in patriarchy. He gives the disclaimer, right? I think the world is changing so fast. You got to figure out. So with all these books that we're sharing, all this information that we're sharing, you got to pull out what you think will work for you and leave everything else. Because homie be going hard, yo. He definitely go hard. But I do agree with a lot when he's not necessarily talking about a relationship with the man just basically himself. I do like when he talk about like, yo, don't let people control your emotions. Like be committed to whatever your purpose is of life. I do like that. So it's been going on. I guess we've been having an ongoing thread of our conversations about, you know what I'm saying, about investing in yourself, making sure you have a purpose, all those good things. So I do think those are necessary, but it's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I can see what you're saying, but bro, that might gonna get a lot of people in trouble. They go directly word for word with that. Yeah.
my opinion is, I'm gonna share this book with all of those people that I think are getting prepared to enter a real relationship. I've been married for 13 years, and I'm not ashamed to say,
You've been married for 13 years, yo?
yeah, man, I'm an OG in this thing. You better respect the chains.
Yo, that's crazy. I didn't know you was married for that. But go ahead.
Look, straight out of law school. I said it don't get no better than this. I got me a Claire Huxtable. Get you one. But you know, I get what you're saying about proceed with caution, and I agree. I would tell people that. But what was new to me and nobody really talked to me about was this, breaking it down in simple terms of, we all got to
echo. You got to echo, Bishop. You might.
Yeah, I think you got to go on mute or something. It ain't on my end. I don't have it playing. Masculine and feminine energy. And we all got a little bit of all of that. And he kind of talks about how men today have taken on more feminine energy, which has caused women to take on more masculine energy. And he kind of defines it. But if you look in the summary here, he gives you the disclaimer. It may say for men, but it's some women out there that's more masculine than most men. So he puts that disclaimer out there. It can help you understand as well, if you're a female, why you may have masculine energy. And one of the key points that I kind of took away is, you know what? We got some toxic masculinity. I know I'm hyper masculine, and he talks about how when you've grown, you're able to kind of, what do you call it, bathe in feminine energy without any agenda or trying to get at the woman. You can appreciate the feminine energy, and how masculine energy is somebody living with a sense of purpose and somebody that wants to lead and is worth following. Women are running across men who don't have that masculine energy because they don't have a sense of purpose. And so just like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, when the man don't step up, the woman like, you ain't finna lead me nowhere. So she steps up and begins to take on this masculine energy of being responsible, having a purpose, and going somewhere and leading. And he talks about the balance of that in your relationships. And when you ain't on your job, your woman is going to test you. And I like the quote. I put it in there. I'm going to read it. The most loving women are the women who will test you the most. She wants you to be your fullest, most magnificent self. She won't settle for anything less. She knows it is true of you. She knows in your deepest heart you are free. You are Shiva. Anything less than that, she will torment. And as you know, she's quite good at it. I used to call it nagging, but I look at it now as, oh, you want me to be better. And I appreciate it. So after reading this book, my wife ain't been, she was like, what's going on with you? Why are you so nice? He talks about when they get in that mood, he's like, you just got to love them. You got to stand there and take it and love them. And you got to match that energy. And so for me, it was a really good book. It has helped me out a lot. And I'll put some quotes in there while you.
I couldn't comment because apparently, so this is just a live. So we learned it on the fly. So I definitely got to bring my earphones in because I think that's why, because the audio coming from the computer hitting the mic. That's why. So I was going to say something before, but you said a lot. Interject, but I was like, I didn't want to mess up your flow and get the echo. But the reason I'm glad you ended like that. Is part of with proceed with caution, because I think there is a fine line between nagging, quote unquote, and you just like, yo, like this person just got issues. You know what I'm saying? So, and that could be male, female, but obviously he's talking about your relationship with a woman, right? So I think there is a fine line when you got to be like, yo, like this nag ain't necessarily rooted in her wanting me to be better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like this nagging is rooted in she has her own issues. Could be that she needs to resolve. Could be she thinks drama is, because some people believe drama is that's how you show them love, right? You know what I mean? Like she could like in those type of things. As I said, perceive everybody got to figure out what works for them. I think it's a good book, but again, I say take with any book, take what works for you, try some stuff that you don't think will work for you and just test it out. All this stuff is testing your stuff out, testing this information out, because that's the only way you're gonna learn. Because nobody got, if there was a cure for male female relationships, that person would be a trillionaire.
Hey man, I like the quote you shared. Your mission is your priority. Unless you know your mission and have aligned your life to it, your core will feel empty. Your presence in the world will be weakened, as will your presence with your intimate partner. The next time you notice yourself giving in to your woman, now this may be where you talk about proceed with caution. Postponing your mission and denying your true purpose in order to spend time with her. Stop. Tell your woman that you love her, but cannot deny your heart's purpose. Tell her that you will spend 30 minutes or some specific time with her in absolute attention and total presence, but then you must return to carrying on your mission.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. It's like I said, I think there's definitely some good advice in it. I ain't gonna, that's what I'm saying. Like, but proceed with caution, because I think so he goes on it with that quote. He talks about like people value the quality of time, not necessarily the quantity of time. And I think that you can apply that to, male female relationships, romantic relationships, your relationship with your kids. Like, just because you're there doesn't necessarily mean that you are there. Like, that's having 30 minutes focus time on. So we have this. So it's a running joke, right? So I tell people like, yo, I don't really talk to people on a cell phone after 5 o'clock. And the reason I do that is because when I'm home, I try to give the attention to the family. Like, I'm not saying I'm successful at it at all. I'm not saying that I try to be more successful at it more than I'm failing at it though. Like, so I try not to bring work at home, but obviously I work for myself. I can't always be like, nah, I can't do that. But you know what I mean? I try to though, because I know I never knew my pop. So I know like certain things that I just wish I had, and I'm just trying to give to my family.
That's a good word, man. Putting some of these quotes up here so people could see it. I know we rounding home to pray. A happy woman is a woman relaxed in her body and heart, powerful, unpredictable, deep, potentially wild and destructive, or calm and serene, but always full of life, surrendered to and moved by the great force of her oceanic heart. When you ask her to analyze her heart's emotions, it's like building walls around a part of the ocean and turning it into a swimming pool. It's safer and more predictable, but far less alive and enlivening. Most men have made their women into swimming pools. And I like that quote because, man, again, what he talks about in there is what we would call nagging. When your woman is on you, it's probably because she wants to share in your masculine energy, whether that's you being a leader, you sharing your purpose with her and making her feel secure. But when women don't feel those things that come natural to them, because it kind of, maybe this is stereotypical, but I feel like most people kind of understand when someone says women are driven by emotions and men are more logical. Yeah. And that, that's like what you want to
eat. Don't get yourself canceled. But
I ain't gonna look. I'm walking carefully, but we sharing this in love. And if you disagree, come on and speak and put it in the chat. And we know there your banner go. Sometimes ain't no minds being changed, but we trying to grow. And I can tell you this book and using some of these principles definitely helped me in my marriage. Like, you know what? I can't get mad at my wife when I left a decision for her to make. And if it
was a good one,
because ultimately I'm the man. I'm supposed to make the decisions. That's just like Adam and Eve. Like Adam, God gave you the commandment. Why are you going to get mad at Eve when God come and get on you? That's like Adam saying, see, woman, I knew I shouldn't have. I wish he had taken another rib and made me no. As a man, you got to own that. I'm going to shut up there.
Yeah, nah, because you got to hit us with the prayer and take us out.
All right. You got any closing thoughts?
Nah, only because we trying to keep it 60 minutes. And we going to go.
I'm going to say my prayer quickly. All right.
So I was going to just say, relationships are complex. Obviously, you got to figure out what works for you and yours, man. Like, so I want us to say, like I said, take the stuff that you think is going to help you out, and even try the stuff that you don't think is going to help, and just see what happens, man, and report back to us.
There you go. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for being, again, we say this a lot, but the awesome God that you are. We know that you are on the throne and ultimately in control. We just pray that you bless this world. Help us to love one another the way that you have loved us. Help us to be a blessing to all those we encounter. We pray that this show will bless somebody. In your precious son, Jesus' name, amen. Boom.
Amen.
59:48.
Oh, don't forget to like, share, follow, and hit them cash apps. Until the next week. Peace.